Hey world builders, welcome back to Build Together. This is day 296. Today's prompt is, what traditions surround the harvest in your world? So I actually just kind of went and made a harvest celebrations document and kind of listed the general gist of how each sort of national group tends to function around the harvest time, which takes place really any time in Kenthui, usually around the middle weeks of that month. So the gnomes, they throw these large baking bashes during the harvest season, and they do a lot of like sacrificing breads to Palervo, who is sort of their deity of the harvest, and he's one of the only gnomish gods, like depicted as a gnome. In the Jalar Confederation, you have a pretty big mix of celebrations, but the ones that take over the most are the Nomalian traditions that come from the long-dead nation of Tugakus. The tradition here specifically is called Abi, which is all about community aids and bonds, and so you get a lot of portions of harvests and other goods that were made during the year are given to people in need among the Jalarian communities. Cycluster Empire is probably the place where you see the least of this kind of thing. They are almost notorious for how little actual farming goes on in their nation. Most of the majority of that kind of good is actually imported by them. And so the most you really see in terms of harvest festivities is people who are celebrating something who are, not native to the area, or people who just sort of have communal meals and feasts. Now, in the Kingdom of Helva, this is sort of the other end of the spectrum. The Helvan farmers are responsible for the majority of food that gets grown on the continent. And so there is a lot of celebration, there is a large feast, there are a lot of festivities, and especially a lot of sacrifices to a lot of sort of fringe deities that aren't generally known about or seen by a lot of other people outside of the Kingdom of Helva, but they want as much luck for their harvest as possible. In the Orensire Empire, things are a little bit more complicated. It kind of depends on the Hera or Hertig who is above you and how much freedom they give you, how much time off you would be allowed around this time, if they give you any. People have been punished basically every year in the Orensire Empire for insubordination or shirking work, thanks to their participation in festivities one way or the other. In Clascaria, one of the most consistent things between Divine Star rules is actually the Divine Star Bash, which brings a lot of people to Kochava every year, and is one of the few things that the government funds that is a large community event in Clascaria, and that is basically always happens every year, no matter the Divine Star currently in rule, and it is massive. I mean, it basically doubles the volume of Kochav, and you have people everywhere in the streets celebrating, enjoying time together, and it is really one of the biggest events that happens in that country each year. In Belagul, the elves don't celebrate a whole lot either, because in the past they were known for the Amber Tree, kind of taking care of all of their needs. And so the little that they do see is from people that have immigrated and have brought their traditions to them. What traditions surround the harvest in your world? Thanks for building together.